Well, welcome in, everybody. That is our intro music, and we are Two Guys, One Pod. We are here with some extra special guests, but I'll go with our normal intros to start. I am Addi, the Duck League champ. You can find me on the Twitter, Facebook. They still got MySpace, too, probably. And we got Chonks up here in the Underdog Streets. Where can they find you, Scotty?
Yep, I mean the Underdog Streets is Chonked, or on X, posting a little bit. It's SMLTest, so...
All right, and our extra special guests. I didn't want to bury the lead here, but two of my favorite people in the industry, Rocco and Honcho, the fourth in fantasy crew, some of the best analysts in the game, and two of the highest rated analysts in the League Champ marketplace. Honcho and Rocco, how you guys doing?
Doing good, baby. I'm happy here to be with you, wonderful gentlemen, on this nice Thursday evening, and ready to talk some ball, man.
Oh man, I lost my chance at a three-peat this past week, but I'm gonna look to start another streak in League Champ.
All right. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. And be sure to check out their Discord server, Fourth and Fantasy Show, one of our favorites in the game. But we are going to need to get right into it. We got a lot of football this week, and we are going to start with our last week bets. So you guys are going to come in and tell us how you felt about these. We'll start with the bad. We own our takes here. And we are going to go with the LA Chargers in general. We thought that they had a chance to beat the Colts. Apparently, Daniel Jones is the best in the game.
Yeah, man, it was not looking too good. And, well, actually, towards the end, it depends on what part of the game that you particularly liked. If you wanted to see an Oronde Gadsden breakout, then you had a Woody, right? But if you was looking for the Chargers to come out on top, you was a little disappointed,
Yeah, they game scripted their ass into a lot of fantasy goodness at the end there, so I'm not mad at it.
Fantasy goodness, but we weren't even close. Like, Indy is just better and better each week, right? 6-1, they play Tennessee this week at home. Any reason that they're not going to win this game?
Cam Ward breakout. It's a trap game.
Yeah, okay.
God,
we would like that.
Honestly, the only chance they have is any given Sunday. Crazy shit can happen, but yeah, they're not winning that game.
Jonathan Taylor continues his streak of RB1 of the season, or tries to. I feel like right now it's a three-headed monster between him, Christian McCaffrey, and honestly just them, Christian McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor at this point.
Oh, Bijan got a shot.
Bijan is in there too, but he's a little 40 points behind there. He got to make some points up.
Yeah,
we got this.
We got a lot of season left, and we got a lot of bad bets. Yeah, but all you guys get out of there. We have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Let's get it.
Okay, so we had another one in here. We kind of paired these up, so I'm going to knock out two with one here. We were under on Vidal, and we were over on Haskins. One of those two worked out. Love the excitement in the room.
Just another flip-flop with backup running backs on Thursday night not working. Our favorite move.
Exactly. Right there, I believe somebody had asked this on our Morning Rush show of who should they roll with, and we were like, we don't like none of them. To be honest with you, nothing was sexy about that backfield this past week.
I'm a Vidal truther, so let's go Vidal. Hank Aaron's nephew, if you haven't heard.
No kidding.
I did not know.
Dude, that is a good fun
Home run king. I've been saying it for weeks now. I guess I didn't catch that one.
I didn't even notice that one. I probably just zoned out on that, but that is a good fun fact. Hell yeah, I'm going to copy that one for sure. But moving forward on here, we had the over on DK Metcalf. He was slightly under. I think the process was right. We saw a big game from Aaron Rodgers, and this is the one that I really want to hear your guys' take on. I have continued betting on Travion Henderson, and I have not been making a lot of money. Am I going to keep losing it this week? Because I'm not ready to give up. I'm staying on the horse. Rocco, hit it.
Yeah. I'll believe it when I see it, but otherwise it's a losing bet until something drastically changes in New England. They haven't showed any need to play him yet. I mean, they're winning right now, so Until they lose because of Ramondre Stevenson's many fumbles, I don't see anything changes. I don't know we could get him in there, but right now I don't know if it's him being a rookie or they just have that much trust in Ramondre Stevenson, even though he gives the ball away on a regular occasion. But I'm not putting him in any lineups until I see him do something, anything.
Vrabel gives me no confidence of starting Travion Henderson at this point because he basically said the game script went towards Ramondre last week, which means, listen, if you're a Travion Henderson owner right now, you might just want to just throw him on your bench for at least another 3-4 weeks until Ramondre fumbles another 2 more times, and then we might get some Travion Henderson action.
It's been tough sledding, and 14% of snaps last week, his season low, got 2 touches, also his season low, and they take on Cleveland this week. I have kept him in my lineup every week, suffered the pain, all but one so far, and I've been leaving that spot empty on my starting lineup all week, and I'll pick somebody up Saturday morning who'll get me 10 in that spot instead of wasting it again on a half point like last week.
Do we like pain?
You guys, we've only podcasted a couple times, so you guys don't know yet, but there hasn't been a hill small enough for me to not die on it, and this one's going to stay in that same ballpark.
I got a bet with Chev, Scadaboo versus Henderson, and it's not looking too good for Chev right now. I think he's
It's
going to
right
get
on
me
Chev's side
$10 at the end of the
Almost
season.
that way.
It's early. Lot can happen. We're not even halfway through
It's
yet.
getting
telling
late
you.
quick.
But it's got to happen.
getting late
And
quick.
The
Terrifying.
schedule changes a little bit here for them coming up to Jets, Cincinnati in weeks 11 and 12, the Giants in week 13, and then again the Jets for your championships. So plenty of good matchups ahead for Henderson. I've heard people talking about dropping him. I think that'd be ridiculous. I'd be going straight to the wire to pick him up. And I've seen a ton of Caleb Johnson out there, of course. Eventually, I think Gainwell loses his foothold on that position, and these are the players we really want to be stashing on our benches right now.
Just so our team knows here, they were asking, can we cuss? Fuck yeah, we can. But we are an explicit channel, and still feel free to.
Damn it. Let's go.
Hey, I'm a guest, so I want to make sure before I say something.
That's super nice. I'm a transparency guy, so anything that's in the chat is coming out. But we are moving on to Rome Odunze here. We had the over at 68.5. That did not end up working out. Caleb didn't look great in that one, I'll be honest. I was a little worried there. Scotty, how do you feel about that one? You're a resident Rome truther.
Yeah, they didn't need the passing game the other day. 40 carries on the ground. Swift and Monungai looking good. Monungai, people are saying it was garbage time, but I think we've seen this split happening over the last few weeks, and only this week I'm seeing on certain sites. I'm thinking that he has a chance to exceed his expectations this week.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
Looks like I lost
Huncho
some
or Rocco,
ground.
either of you guys got to take on that split? Do you think it's staying 50-50, or is Swift going to take back over it?
I'll let Rocco go.
I think Monengai is definitely going to earn touches, and I wasn't too big of a fan of DeAndre Swift coming into the season. I just think he's not great at football, even though he's a tremendous athlete. But they've used him right. They've got him, they got him in a system that's maximizing his talents. But yeah, I think it's going to be maybe like a 65-35 split with Swift getting most of it. But I mean, Monengai's definitely earned some touches. But let's not get it twisted too much. They did play the Saints, and the Saints were just not ready for that game, stopping the run or in the passing game. And Caleb had an awful game, so it seemed like they kind of relied on the run game a little bit more in that game. It was just a weird game. What's that?
Just sliding in that Caleb slander.
Yeah, he couldn't help himself.
Yeah,
he had an awful
you think
game.
they're just
let's be truthful. He didn't
just
have
because
a
Scott's
great-
wearing that jersey don't mean it's not a Bears show.
He did not have a great game. I mean, you guys still kicked my ass, and I really wanted to score points on Dennis Allen because fuck that guy, but we didn't do either. So kudos to you guys. Y'all found a way to dominate us without Caleb having a great game.
Listen, I got one phrase for y'all. Go dogs. DeAndre Swift all week. Y'all know how I feel about my G. And yes, Monunga is going to take some snaps away, but not too much because honestly, Swift is still a better receiving back than Monunga. But I think the person who is in trouble for getting his snaps more reduced, even though he had a solid week, is Roscoe Johnson.
Roscoe?
Yeah.
Or
Roshan.
Chicken and
Roshan
waffles?
Johnson is-
You're right. Roshan, excuse me.
I was like, who is this?
You ain't
guy?
got
Like,
Roscoe.
searching him up.
That's right. That's my nickname for him. I think Roshan is just, I call him Roscoe. But I
it's
think
better. I
Roshan
should go by
Johnson
that.
season snaps kind of brought back. But Monunga, hey, me and Rocco were big fans of him throughout the draft season. And honestly, we wanted him to go to a spot where he could shine. So I'm not mad with him getting snaps with Swift. I think it's actually a pretty good pair.
Yeah. I
Not
don't
to
hate
burst
it.
your
I
bubble,
mean,
but sorry about that.
hey, no, please.
Or not to burst your
away.
bubble, but I don't think Roshan Johnson's practicing this week, so maybe not the best week for that team.
Well, I mean, he gained 10 yards during a play, so he's out for at least 3 weeks. That's kind of his ratio, at least one missed game per 10 yards. But we'll keep moving through here. We're going to go fast on this one. Tajay Spears, we expect him to be a bigger part of that game plan. Tony Pollard ended up doing it, and not too much to talk about there. The good, though, I will lend this one to Scott because I've been a slight believer in the Drake May coming of age, but you were ahead of me on this one. So how are you feeling about those Patriots alts last week?
Yeah, I mean, expected Vrabel to go in against his home team, that there is no love lost there, and he showed them that. It was taken care of on the defensive side of the ball. It was taken care of with the run game, his favorite way to do it. Drake May remains good, and they moved on to the next one. This week they got the Browns at home. I don't think we're talking about that one later, but I think they keep on rolling here. Cleveland got their win last week, and would like to see Patriots get it done at home.
Yeah, we can leave it at that. Philly versus Minnesota. We had Philly going there. Honcho, as a Dallas fan, how are you feeling about these Eagles? Like, is this a paper tiger, or is this more of an actual team that you guys are worried about there?
I don't want to disrespect the reigning champs, right? Because they are a talented team, but I'm not scared. Like, I wasn't even scared coming into the season, to be honest with you. They have shown they have chinks in their armor. Yes, Jalen Hurts is a solid quarterback, especially for fantasy, and he showed everyone that he can hit passes last week. So shout out to him. Great. We got AJ Brown back into the game, but they've also shown they can be beat. They very much are dealing with injuries. Saquon isn't having the same type of performance he was last year. And I honestly think that offense, for the long run, when it gets deeper into the season where it gets harder to throw, especially in Philly with the tough weather, they're going to need that running game. And if Saquon's not hitting on all cylinders, they could have a tough stretch towards the end of the year.
I could see that too. And we'll bring it to the next one here. We want to get you guys to the games, and we know we have one coming up here. So we are here for the fans and all one of our viewing audience right now. But we are going to talk about Devontae Adams, anytime touchdown. That one paid off. Easy call there. BTJ under 66.5. Don't know what's going on with that guy, but he is 82nd out of 82nd in terms of catchable targets caught. So that is a rough metric to have. And to be fair, he is low in the catchable target rate because Trevor Lawrence is throwing the ball. But we are going to move it to a topic that I know is near and dear to the Vikings jersey on our screen here. Scott's not even a Minnesota fan, which I think is a worthwhile note for this. But we have a rule here. Justin Jefferson, when his line is under 80, you are taking it. And it was under 80. It was at 75.5, and we got it there.
Easy money.
Easy peasy. Ready to do it again this week. He's not under 80. I think he's right at 80.5, but I'm loving Justin Jefferson alts this week. We haven't seen a blow-up game from him yet, and I also like to see 1 and 2 TD options for tonight's game. So let's do it.
Darn tootin'.
Brought out the
And
Justin
next-
Jefferson jersey. He's gonna light the beam.
Well, next up, we got Rashee Rice. This one was fantastic. Rocco, I'd love to hear your take. How are you feeling about the Chiefs' offense right now with Rashee back in it?
I mean, they were playing above expectations before Rashi got back, and he slid right in and got 2 scores. So I think we can expect more of the same. I mean, Mahomes is the MVP leader in the clubhouse, even though that mantle has switched hands over the last few weeks. I thought it was Herbert to start the season, then Mayfield for a couple weeks, and now it's Mahomes. Mahomes has, been the most consistent guy out of all those players, and he had the least to work with. So, I think it's wheels up for the Kansas City offense. I believe in the Super Bowl or in the playoff run last year, they realized that they need to score points to win another Super Bowl. They're not going to just continue to eke out games and, get lucky with some referee nonsense. They're going to have to score points, and they've come out, firing this year.
Darn tootin'. They really have. They've been a fun ball club to watch, even though it has hurt me a little bit to not see them use Xavier Worthy to his full potential. That being said, the guy is coming off an injury. I don't. Hey, if you're
Situational
good in Madden,
deep
you're gonna
threat.
be good in real life. You're a situational deep threat.
The archetype that I never trust.
If you heard
let's
about
invest in
Worthy,
J-Mo too.
if you heard about Worthy, I'm heard about Royals. So we're all dealing with a little bit of pain right now.
Hey, Brashard
that
Smith
too.
though.
Yeah, Brashard
We can
Smith,
hope.
wheels up, shorts
We
up.
can hope. We can hope.
Yeah.
But we got an easy one here. We're going to quickly go through the ins and outs here. We have a couple players that are out. I'm just going to run through them and then give each of you guys one opportunity to pick a guy to talk about that's worthwhile here. We got Bryce Young coming on a high ankle sprain. Nico Collins recovering from a concussion. Hassan Haskins is out tonight. Wheels up for Vidal. Garrett Wilson is likely to miss another week so far. Mike Evans is sadly unlikely to hit that 1,000 mark, but we were all rooting for you, dog. Calvin Ridley is continuing to not play very much football on or off the field. Bucky Irving should have just put him on IR, and A.J. Brown is working on the side field, which is terrifying news for A.J. Browners. Let's start out with Huncho here. Who from that list is tinkling your interest, as they say? That ain't an expression.
Well, honestly, the very first few guys you named are all probably not playing, but most likely a little bit of AJ Brown. I'm not back on the wheelhouse. I'm not saying that he's going to give you another top 5 wide receiver week, but it was good signs from how Jalen Hurts was looking to get him the ball. Yes, he's only had 4 receptions in the game, but he made them count, and 2 of those went for touchdowns. So he's heard Jalen Hurts. He's heard the media talk about how that offense is. How do you feel? He's been very passive and trying to. We haven't seen him reading the book yet on the sideline, so I don't think he's gotten to that point yet. But AJ Brown still intrigues me, and actually, I just saw him in one of my leagues I run go for a late first still, so he still has some solid capital behind him.
Hey, I'm going to take us fully off script here. You just talked about a trade in the Dynasty League. I happen to deal with an absolutely awful trade in the Dynasty League today with my co-host Scott's buddy. He decided to throw me Keenan Allen and 2 firsts for Justin Jefferson. And how do we feel about that, Scott? We'll transition to you there. Is there a better way to shame someone than publicly on a podcast?
Best method. It depends what you want, and future capital is future capital. Everyone kind of weighs it differently. Justin Jefferson is, right in the peak of his career. He's a top 5 known asset, and it's hard to give something up. Like, you want something known back when you're giving up somebody that is like a blue chip piece to your lineup. So.
Yeah, I mean, Keenan Allen's he's having a top 10 season so far, Mr. Old Angels himself, but and then you got 2, it depends on what those firsts are looking like. Hopefully they're early first, nothing of the late kind. honestly probably would have won another first thrown in there with Keenan Allen, but nevertheless, I can't really beat somebody up so far because he hasn't been the wide receiver one that we've seen in years past. So everyone's value is in their own little perspective, I say.
You guys are too nice. Hey, come support my butthurtness. I am ready to roast someone on the air. But Scotty, who interests you from these out players? Who's kind of peaking it here aside from AJ Brown?
Yeah, I'm getting worried about Bucky Irving a little bit. We haven't seen him even get close to return to practice yet. We have seen some pictures of him in a sling, though they're a few days old, a few weeks old at this point, so hard to know the timeline. But we haven't heard much. He was ruled out pretty quickly this week. Him and Chris Godwin both were. So they do have their bye next week, but we were pretty confident he'd be back coming out of the bye. And at this point, I would say that's 50-50, but not a doctor. Don't know much, but silence is not usually the best thing. But
yeah.
Can't imagine it is.
Oh, we've been talking about Bucky kind of the last few days in our Discord, and someone was talking about a trade of they've been trying to pivot or looking at pivoting off of Nico Collins because they don't know how to feel about him going forward. And they were like, oh, maybe we can, or I can go tear down to a Bucky Irving for a second, or Bucky Irving and a second for Nico. And honestly, we kind of give a little bit more pushback just because of how Bucky Irving is hurt. And with Nico, yes, he has a concussion, so he most likely will miss this week. But I don't feel great about, and then you're only getting, not to say Bucky Irving is not elite, but if I'm giving up Nico, I would want more than Bucky Irving in a second. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I can't imagine that trade gets done in a lot of leagues. Just with what we've seen from Bucky in the offseason, 100%. Running backs peak in their value after a ceiling season, and that's really when you want to move him if you can, if you have to. That is how are you feeling about that one, Rocco? And then you can throw in a player that you're interested in. I'm gonna guess it's Haskins.
No.
Okay. Please continue.
I'm intrigued with Bucky Irving being out, not because of Bucky Irving. I wanted to get more of a look at Rachaad White. And he scored points, but it hasn't been as impressive as I'd hoped. He scored some PPR points, he scored some touchdowns, but he hasn't been necessarily efficient on the ground. So I think that team needs Bucky back, but I don't know when he's going to be back. When the injury happened, it seemed like it was going to be more of a longer term thing, and they, kind of sugarcoated it to us. But I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I mean, he's going to be out 4 games now.
Yeah, 4 games and a bye.
Yeah. So I have short-term memory loss from my teen and early 20 years. Was Nico Collins one of the guys you mentioned?
Yeah. Nico Collins is likely to be out, still in the concussion protocol.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be out, and the intriguing thing for me is to see that team incorporate some of the rookies. Christian Kirk's out, Nico is potentially out, and Noel's had a mini breakout the last week. So I want to see Jaden Higgins slide into the Nico role. Hopefully they don't just keep slotting out Xavier Hutchinson, because nobody wants to see that. Get Jaden Higgins out in the Nico role. I mean, he looks a lot like Nico out there, physically. So let's see if that can happen. Let's keep seeing what Noel can do. That's what intrigues me, because it hasn't worked what they've done so far. So, I mean, get the rookies out there. It can only help the offense. I mean, it can't get any worse, can it?
I mean, the fact that they're winning games is really the only savings grace that they got at this point, because
they have an elite defense.
Yeah, they do, and they really should
games?
be.
They're 2-4, right?
Are they 2-4? I thought they were 3. Damn, do I not know the records?
No, I think that's 2-4.
Well, I guess they do suck
they're
balls
home
after
this
all.
week against San Francisco.
They're
It's been so painful to watch.
Hey, man.
Yeah, so there's
they're
no
2-point favorites
reason
right
not
now.
to get the rookies out there then.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at 2-4 playing the San Francisco 49ers and being 2-point favorites is kind of crazy. But we're going to move it into the players that are in today. We have Lamar returning. Thank goodness for the league. And not too happy about it for my Bears. Kincaid is back from a short hiatus on injury. David Njoku's day-to-day. Josh Downs is likely in here. And Aaron Jones is playing tonight. So, how are we feeling about that? Any of those names stick out to you? Obviously, Kincaid, I think, Lamar, they're going straight into your starting lineup. Is Josh Downs drawing any potential flex appeal here?
Not for me.
I didn't think so.
Not for me. But who is a little bit intriguing me, just because I am a little hurt on the RB side and dealing with injuries, is Aaron Jones. And I believe whose value takes a hit here is Jordan Mason. I think he becomes more of a TD dependent type of player. Now because Aaron Jones is still a better receiver than him. Yes, he is a little bit better in the. I want to say a little bit better, but he's bigger to run in the inside, and they're not going to just throw Aaron Jones out there. But I don't think we see the same weeks or type of production from Jordan Mason going forward, as long as Aaron Jones is healthy.
Yeah, I would agree there. Anyone else standing out to Scott or Rocco here?
No, let's move into the games.
Okay, let's hit it. Say less. Alrighty. Well, we're going to hit a quick ad break here because we are on the YouTube and I get to click through the, as Huncho says, trap music coming in. So, let's hit it right here and go. Oh, nice cat. That's always fun.
I swear,
Well,
it makes you want to move that shoulder.
Yeah. Well, and also, future sponsor, please, Jepson's Malort. I'm sure you guys have seen it on the social media. I can hope. But moving forward, we have Thursday Night Football tonight. We have the LA Chargers playing the Minnesota Vikings, and Hassan Haskins is out. Let's start it up with the Vikings side of the ball here. How are we feeling about the Vikings backfield? You know, we alluded to their huncho with Aaron Jones. Rocco, how are you feeling about Jordan Mason and Aaron Jones split tonight?
I think Aaron Jones is going to have the more fantasy-friendly role. Mason's gonna show up when they're playing a weak run defense. But I think Aaron Jones could be a weekly flex for people. So depending on how healthy he is, and I mean, we just saw George Kittle cleared play and got you a 0. I mean, we saw what happened with Mike Evans. So guys coming off of injury are no guarantee. So if I could, I might want to wait 1 week. But as far as role, I think he has the more fantasy-friendly role. And I think, Jordan Mason's just going to do the grinder type thing while Aaron Jones is catching the passes and potentially scoring the touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, he's been an adequate, if not above average, goal line back his entire career. We saw the same thing with Jamal Williams, who was a bona fide goal line back in Detroit, and they still managed to get him the ball. I think that Aaron Jones, you can probably, if there was a time to bet his line, it would probably be tonight in the off chance that he is fully healthy coming off of that bye and that injury. Scott, how are you feeling tonight? What bets are standing out to you?
Well, on top of all of my Justin Jefferson alts and TDs, I'm kind of on the kid fade. He's the fourth target tonight. I'm thinking this is going to be a run-heavy game. We're seeing Justin Herbert's pass attempts shading heavily to the under at 35.5, and this seems like one of those fade the hype scenarios here. Most tight ends don't go for 160 yards in a game, and you'd expect them to come back to earth with four different targets there for the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, got to throw it to Chev here. My illustrious co-host picked this one out in April, and could not be happier if you have Arondé Gatson on your team. But yes, this is the right time to fade that line because it is an overreaction line if you ever saw one. Mm-hmm. He is the fourth target on that team, undoubtedly. He is behind Keenan Allen, Ladd McConkey, and QJ for now. But, well, yeah, we got any other ones? Anything else standing out for you guys here tonight? Like any players that you want to target? I like the Ladd line at 55, but that's really the only one that was standing out to me. Haskins or Vidal at 58 is a little scary.
I didn't see too much of besides the players that you mentioned. I honestly, if I had to go another person, maybe I'm throwing Jordan Addison still out there, as he's been having some very solid, hell, I was going to say couple, but honestly, at this point, a month of football where, yes, Justin Jefferson is still out doing his thing, but man, Jordan Addison might be, we have to throw him in that top 5 of wide receiver 2s in the league, for sure, or running mates, or Robins, as I like to say, or Robins to Batman. So, Jordan Addison, I wouldn't mind throwing him in my line tonight. I believe right now his prop is 54.5 receiving yards.
Yeah,
I that's not bad. I might just do the over there.
I don't hate it. I mean, they're going to have passing yards. The Chargers have been a competent offense. I could definitely see this one being another Jordan Addison game, and that's not just because it's my name. But we move it on to Miami at Atlanta. Atlanta is minus 7.5. It is a 44.5 over-under. And hell no, we are not skipping this one, Scott. Don't put those notes on my show sheet. So, the one I want to talk about here is, one, has Atlanta earned a 7.5 spread? And two, Devon Achane at 29.5 receiving yards. That seems like an easy money bet. Like, we aren't here to talk about all the fun games. There can just be games with good lines. So, Rocco, you seem to agree there. Tell me how you're feeling about the Atlanta Falcons at this point.
I mean, they're hard to bet on, but we are talking about a team that's playing at home in their own dome against a team that's basically falling apart. I mean, the vibes are terrible in Miami. You got Tua ratting out teammates like he's the Federales. You got Mike McDaniel that looks like he's been on a cocaine bender for 4 years. If you see the before and after pictures from when he was hired to where he's at right now, it looks like fucking a screenshot of Blow or something. So yeah, I think he can get fired at any moment right now, and it could very well happen this week because Miami has been hemorrhaging rushing yards on the ground. They just gave up 3 touchdowns to Quinshon Judkins. You saw what they did for Mr. Rico, Uncle Rico, I should say. So Bijan Robinson at 91.5, I think I'm smashing that. If anybody is going to, hit the over for rushing yards against a particular defense, I think it's got to be Bijan Robinson at home. I might even smash the Tyler Algier at 43.5.
I love when my co-host starts speaking these wonderful things of that's my second favorite team, if y'all didn't know, because I'm from Georgia. That's my original state I was born in. So I do, when I'm not rooting for my Dallas Cowboys, I am rooting for my Atlanta Falcons, and Rocco hit that right on the head. Quinshon Judkins just embarrassed them boys. I want to see what Bijan does to him. And I would even feel still good about his combined yards, his receiving and rushing, I think is a good prop as well.
Yeah. And you know what, Scott? You don't get to talk about this one because you said you wanted to skip it. But you do get to start on this one. Chicago at Baltimore, minus 6.5 to Baltimore, 49.5 over under. tell me how you're feeling about this game, Scott.
I think this is where we start to see Baltimore drag themselves out of the depth. The whole
Don't say that to me.
for the
See, technology didn't even want him to finish that.
Right.
Cut him off.
oh man,
Yeah,
It
you
must be
froze up
fall.
on
The
that
weather,
one, buddy.
weather's changing. All right, well, I don't know. The Bears haven't been very good this year, despite their record, and this seems like a spot where Baltimore is getting healthy. Whether Lamar's 100% or not, I think Derrick Henry has a pretty good game, and I think unfortunately Addi will be rooting for passing yards on the Bears side because they'll be comeback, a little bounce back spot for Caleb, Adunze, and of course a little weekly love for Loveland. His props are still way too low. Easily hitting his like first level of alts on a couple catches early in the game. So always checking out lines.
And I don't want to keep us on this topic too long, but I want to throw a little bit of note out there since we're pretty close to the trade deadline. There has been whispers, and I say if they lose this game, there has been whispers about them moving Mark Andrews. So I would keep a very much eye on that if they end up or this losing streak for them keeps continuing.
Yeah, I mean, especially with Likely there, you got to hope that they give that guy an opportunity to actually become like the tight end one, because he really does look like he has the potential to actually run that offense and get all the snaps, but Andrews does earn it. Like, the guy is a quality tight end. I feel like he could be a Zach Ertz late in his career because he can still move, except Zach Ertz would have caught that touchdown. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I digress. But I do want to institute a rule on this show. When you see Rome Odunze under 60 yards, I think that is a smash bet no matter what. Even in this case where Chicago is likely to have a tougher road ahead, I am still believing that Rome will be a big part of the reason that they are able to stay in this game. Next up, we have what I'm sure is your favorite game here, Huncho. New York at Philly. Philly minus 7.5. And I am intrigued by this game. Who do you believe from your own division here? Because you told me a couple reasons that you don't necessarily think that Philly is as good as their record so far. You think New York is?
I think the New York Giants are going to come in with a chip on their shoulder and very pissed off because they should have had last week and they let that one slip through their hands. Jackson Dart is playing some of the better fun ball that we've seen from any of the rookie quarterbacks this year. And then you throw in Rocco's boy, our boy Scatterbo, doing that thing and running like he wants every type of smoke possible on that football field. Well, is there a fun duo to watch? I like me some Dart. I actually, only really have him in about 3 spots, and I think Cam Scatterbo has potential on the upside top 10 type week, or at the very least a top 15 week if they continue to have him in the receiving game and obviously in the running game. But we also saw Tracy show a little bit of life last week, so I don't think he's dead as of yet. But honestly, I think Giants might sneak their way through this because their defense and defensive line is actually playing really well.
All right. Well, Scott, I think you got enough Wi-Fi here to make the case against this.
All right. Hopefully, I'm going heads up on this one. So we saw this line being Eagles minus 7.5 a couple weeks back in New York. New York took care of business that night on Thursday Night Football, but the Eagles, in recent meetings, swept last year the series, and I just think that they found something right now. Last week they did with the pass. The whole market is out on Saquon right now. I've heard ridiculous things like, oh, I wouldn't trade Judkins from Saquon. As soon as I heard that, I went and found the Saquon manager and I offered him Judkins. It did not work, unfortunately.
Darn.
I'm a little mad at myself for that one. A little earlier in the season, and maybe it's good, maybe it's not. Maybe we're all being a little bit too hard on Saquon right now, but they had offered me Devontae Adams, and this is just for Saquon Barkley, nothing more. It was Kenneth Walker, Charbonnet, and Devontae Adams for Saquon. And I declined it because I thought Saquon and Eagles would potentially start bouncing back, but then they started piling up injuries. So I don't know really how to feel about it at this very moment.
Yeah, I was a Saquon fader. I just didn't buy into him having 475 touches last year and him coming back and doing the same thing in back-to-back years. It just it didn't feel like it was a plausible thing. I mean, Saquon's not been an Iron Man in his career. He's been awesome when he's been out there, but he's dealt with injuries. He's not like Derrick Henry, who just never got hurt except for that Liz Frank years ago. So yeah, I faded him a little bit, but I think the community was right there with me because all of the places I have Saquon in, nobody would give me market value for him.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, like, it's one of those things when you have a guy that actually is putting up a ceiling outcome, you struggle to actually get market value for that because, of course, they're putting up their ceiling outcome. Why would you sell for low? But we have another one here that my co-host has the audacity to write Skip on. And I'm just going to put it out there, Scott. The more you write Skip on my show feeds during the show, the more I'm going to talk about it. Hey, and you even have Wi-Fi now. We can see the blush coming into your cheeks there, buddy.
Man.
Scott's like, thank God I'm taking next week off. No, but Buffalo, Carolina here. I have one that I want to throw in here. We don't got to talk about this one this long. It should be a bit of a blowout with Andy Dalton in there. I agree this game might not be as fun, but Rico Daddles anytime at about 110 odds, I think is fantastic in this one. Rico has looked great. I've been a Rico truther for about 2 years now, and I think Buffalo's defense is entirely beatable. Does anyone want to talk me off the Rico ledge? I mean, I'm giving it to anyone else.
No, I mean, Rico needs to be the man there. I mean, he's just better at running the football than Chuba Hubbard is at this point. So I think he needs to be the 65%er and get most of the rushes, including the goal line work, and Chuba can mix in and get some catches.
Couldn't agree more. But we will move it on here to Tampa at New Orleans. And I'm not going to let Rocco talk on this one even a little bit. I'm going to keep him squarely out of this combo. We have New Orleans at +4. Tampa is getting the line here, even away from home. Over-under at 47. And, Scott, how are we feeling about Tampa Bay and New Orleans today?
I don't like either team. I think this one I had written Skip, but then I took away because I was seeing myself get put in the doghouse. But maybe I should have left this one as Skip because some games you just walk away from and you just, don't care about it for the weekend. And this is going to be one of those ones for me.
Huh. Yeah, because I love Tampa in this one.
I do. I think it's very easy to lean that way. With Baker Mayfield, he's going to be pissed off because he didn't play up to his standard last week. So I think he's going to take all that aggression out on the New Orleans Saints. I think we're seeing very much a stacking of games from Tez Johnson. So I think he's another guy that's very much has taken advantage of Mike Evans being out. And then also, if we're looking at the other side, Chris Olave still is commanding targets. But I think somebody who actually does have a more surprising game, I wouldn't even say surprising game, but who could have a bigger game than Olave, watch out for Shaheed. I think he'll sneakily end up being the leading receiver for the Saints this game. That's my intuition at the moment.
Hey, same brain right here. 2.8 on Shaheed's touchdown line, 180 odds. I would take that one any day. I feel like that's a good bet to actually hit. I think they're going to be passing the ball quite a bit. And it seems like Rattler is actually, despite hitting a couple picks to the Bears, I've actually liked what I've seen from Rattler, which is kind of weird to say. How have you felt about it, Rocco? Like, Rattler's been in there for a bit. We're just going to keep talking about this game for the next 20 minutes, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, Rattler gives you a little hope before he pisses it away, or Jawan Johnson comes out there. I mean, if there's a betting out on Juwan Johnson doing something boneheaded, take that every week because he is like one of the worst players that got paid this offseason. And it sticks in my craw that he got paid. So, yeah, if you watch that game, just prepare for something boneheaded from Juwan Johnson. But Rattler's been cool. I mean, he's really nice in between the 20s. He hasn't been able to repeat that same magic once the ball gets into the red zone. I think that Taysom Hill is going to be more and more a part of the game plan when we get in the red and green zone. Just because we haven't been able to score touchdowns. I mean, Kamara has. They're not using Kamara right at all. He's not catching passes like he's done his whole career. He's like invisible in the flats, and they're just, looking downfield on every play. So yeah, I think it's a good game for Olave and Shaheed, and it's a get right spot for the Bucks. I think Huncho hit it right on the head. Look for Tez Johnson. I'd smash that 44.5. I'd smash that right now. I mean, he could have had a much bigger game if Baker wasn't throwing the 7-foot receivers in this past game, because he was consistently open, and that consistently being open is going to be even worse against the Saints. So I expect could be a shootout type game if the Saints can keep up, but it should be a fun one.
Yeah, I would agree. And the shorter, smaller, more twitchy receivers like DJ Moore, Lamde Zaccheaus looked open last week too. So I wouldn't be shocked if that passing game was able to get right through the smaller guys like Mecca and Tez at that juncture. But we'll move off of this one. We got Dallas at Denver here. This one I am really interested in because I have no clue what's going to happen in this game. This could be a game where Denver entirely puts the brakes on all the fun stuff happening in Dallas, or this could be another game where a team drags Denver into a shootout. I know Huncho's dying to talk here, and that's why I'm throwing it to Scott.
Heck yeah. All right, well, let's see if this will be heads up. But this week I'm on the Cowboys. Haven't seen much that I liked from the Broncos these past few weeks. They got away with one last week. They're 5-2, but despite their record, Bo Nix has been incredibly inconsistent this year. The Cowboys are right now being undervalued by the market. Their season win total is at a season low, 7.5, despite their 3-1 record to start. And they've been favorites in recent matchups. So I like this spot for them to win outright, and Bo Nix to kind of continue to be mid.
Damn. Say it well.
Listen,
Huncho, hit it.
Yes, please pass the baton over to me. Listen, when we're talking about the Denver Broncos, this is a Javonte Williams revenge game, and I hope he does it so bad to them. When I'm talking about, and then we saw what that duo of CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens looked like this previous week. It looked like magic. It looked like fantasy goodness. Dak Prescott is playing at an MVP type level this year. Honestly, I would throw him and Baker in that conversation. If you got some other guys that you could throw in there too, but I am loving. Shout out to Clayton Adams, our new offensive coordinator who came over from the Arizona Cardinals. He got in our running scheme and running game back to what Dallas standard has been for the longest time. And boy, it's just a fun offense to watch. I think I'm like Scotty, my boy Scotty Boy said, I'm going with Dallas or over the Denver Broncos. Yes, our defense can get blown up a little bit, but DeMarvion Overshown is back, baby. He has been activated off of IR, and he's been practicing this week. We have basically he's our best linebacker, so it should be a fun game. I think the players that you should look at on the Broncos side, obviously Dobbins could end up having a sneaky game because we do let running backs go off on us sometimes. Rico Dowdle. And then but also look out if you want a sneaky play because he has been pretty involved in the receiving game. Maybe RJ Harvey gets some burn this game and breaks off a long one. I'm just saying.
Would love to see it, but haven't seen much of it, to be honest. Put that in
Smells
the
like
trivia on
trivia
Henderson bucket.
Hey, cool.
Oh shit! Man, I love the Javonte Williams call though, and I totally forgot about the revenge game narrative. He's run for 54, 97, 76, 85, 135, a dud of 29, 116 last week. His line's only at 63.5 right now. Made my way directly to the book to hit that line, and we'll keep an eye on what else is coming up. Also, only minus 136 to score a touchdown. Do you like that line, Rocco?
I I don't. I think the Broncos bounce back on defense this week, and I think I don't think he's gonna have a great game. So I'm taking the Broncos. I'm gonna swerve while everybody's on the Cowboys love this week.
Oh,
All
we're gonna stay
right.
on that love. It's gonna be all types of love. I'm telling
I
you.
think Nick's found something in that fourth quarter, and I think they have to start being that team and stop being conservative early in games and let the pass lead into the run. I mean, Sean Payton is one of the better offensive coaches over the years, and I think he'll get there with this Broncos team. And Bo Nix similarly had a slow start to start 2024, and I think we're just kind of seeing some of the same. I think he's going to be really hitting on all cylinders going forward.
Yep, couldn't agree more. I think this game's going to be really fun, is the big thing, and I think you can kind of hit the overs in most cases, because even if Denver plays well, Dallas is still going to have to throw the ball. They're going to end up having to play that out, and that means somebody on their passing game is doing well. Surtain can't be in two places at once, so he's not going to be able to cover CD Lamb and George Pickens. But
So I like it.
yeah,
Big Lamb game here in the slot. I think Surtain singles up on Pickens and CD runs free in the middle.
darn tootin'. Well, we are actually going to stay under an hour, which I got to say really says a lot about how great I am as moderator. Should be talked about more in the comments. But we are going to move it to Washington, Kansas City here. I have a feeling that Scott wanted to write Skip here, but I'm not sure.
Now that you mention it, yeah, true. I'd rather talk about Rodgers.
Oh, you want to talk about Rodgers? Throw it out there first. I'm down to hear about Pitt.
Someone today was saying that they didn't feel like this was like Rodgers' revenge game, not a big deal. But is there a more vengeful person than Aaron Rodgers back in Lambeau? You know he wants to drop that. Oh, wait, excuse me. This is in Pittsburgh, right? Yeah, this is in Pittsburgh. And he's ready to drop that discount double check all over them. This is a great spot for Mike Tomlin. +3 at home, coming off of a loss. I mean, if there's a spot to bet on Pittsburgh, this is it. Like, this is scripted for when you should be betting on the Steelers. So their defense hasn't been great. Someone talked about the over, and I really thought that was a good idea. So, yeah, what do you guys think?
Well,
I just threw the wax on our
Bro,
screen.
I thought you were like trying to sneak that under me, like, oh, fudge.
I think that Green Bay's offense is just janky enough to make Pittsburgh's defense look good in this one. So I can concur with you. I think Pittsburgh could pull this one out. But yeah. What do you think about Josh Jacobs this week? I think he could be he could be the guy that helps bring this home for Green Bay.
When
Yeah,
is
I
he
mean-
not the guy who brings it home for Green Bay is the truth these days. Like, you keep wanting it to be Jordan Love.
I wish.
Oh, what a great matchup for Jordan Love, and he fails again. So I'm holding on to a couple of the same Green Bay receivers in a league, and I'm like, why? It's just going to be painful to have Christian Watson and Reed, a couple guys in the IR spots. So it's been painful, and I want Green Bay to be good, but Aaron Rodgers not going to let that happen. I just can't imagine it.
Yeah,
I think for fantasy, and I'll keep it brief here. I think for
No.
fantasy it'll be good. With Aaron Rodgers, once again, this is going to be a revenge game for him. I think he's going to try to bring his best game. He's also pissed about last week because the Bengals should have. Well, I want to say should have because they played a hell of a game. Well, I was saying last night on our episode that we released today, I was saying that it was the game of the unks. So Aaron Rodgers is going to come out. He's going to have a. He's going to show that he still has something to prove out here. The thing that I'm still trying to figure out is that Green Bay wide receiver room. We don't know. I think Matthew Golden has been coming along a little bit more, getting more
He's looked
targets.
good.
But but man, it's so hard to really know who, except for unless it's Tucker Craft or Josh Jacobs. Those are the only bona fide know for sure that are going to be part of the offense every week if they're healthy. Everybody else is more of a toss up. Maybe it might be Romeo Dobbs. Maybe it might be Wicks. And then you throw in the Christian Watson might be returning soon. Hell, man, we don't know what's gonna happen.
Is gross. So last week, Matthew Golden had 4 catches, ran his highest percentage of routes on the year at 73, but 3 of these 4 catches were on the first drive. So he wasn't a big part of the game plan. He almost ran more the sacrificial X role that we pegged Romeo Dobbs for. And I've been playing in my flex all season in a 14 team league. Lucky enough to have maybe a different option this week because it's inconsistent, but there's definitely a shot to miss ceiling. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just roll the dice one more time. This could be a shootout that I'll want to watch.
We're right here, Scotty. I knew I liked you for a reason.
Yeah, Tucker Craft is the right answer there. Much like Travis Kelce's the right answer in Kansas City, and I just transitioned it to the game we're going to still talk about for a minute here. We're going to go quick on this one. But 12.5 points for Kansas City over Washington. We've seen Mariota play decent. I think that they actually got a chance to keep it just under 12 points. I think they're going to win by 10. But I think that there is still some possibility that we'll see Washington get right with Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel coming back. We still have the potential for that offense to really play well. JCM hasn't looked bad in any context. Bill is all right. And I don't know. There are worse options than Mariota as your backup quarterback. Trust me, I know as a Bears fan, we've had backup quarterbacks starting for the last 25 years. But, is there any culpability in the Chiefs running back room is the big question that I wanted to throw out here to you guys, because all I hear is people talking up Brashard Smith's garbage timeline. Should they? Tell me why.
I absolutely love Brashard Smith. And shout out to Chef because he was very much also on this hive, if you will. And the Chiefs, it took this long for the Chiefs to understand. Well, I wouldn't say garbage time because it's real production. It's only if you were watching the game, Kareem Hunt ended up getting hurt, which ended up allowing Brashard Smith to get more involved on the receiving, where Kareem Hunt does a really good job in pass protecting. What I love and want to see more of, because he was a previous wide receiver, is him used in the receiving game. Yes, Pacheco, he can keep the rushes. Who cares? But PPR wise, give me all Brashard Smith. Use him out wide. Use him in the slot. Use him out the backfield. You can get so creative. Andy Reid. Whoop the Commanders. We saw what DeAndre Swift did to the Commanders a couple weeks ago in the receiving game. There's no reason why Brashard Smith can't, again, have 5 receptions or at least 3 targets at the very minimum coming out of this game.
The new McKinnon, right? That's what they're saying.
The new McKinnon,
right,
baby.
I was about to say the McKinnon role, but that is where we're ending it off. We have managed to keep this just under an hour, and we're going to go just over by talking out the credits, but that's fine. It has been fantastic having the Fourth and Fantasy team in here. We'll get you guys on quite a few more of these, but we have given you your DFS and betting lines. Hopefully you're on for them. If you aren't, then make sure to get your bets in by Sunday. But it was great having you guys out here. I am Addi, the Duck League Champ. Check us out on the iOS and Google Play Store. The League Champ app is out, and we have our contests going as always. So where can they find you, Scott?
Hey, just Chonks Chow Chow Champ. Excited to be here again and see you next week. Actually, I will be here, as it turns out. So looking forward to
Oh,
it.
no kidding. Damn.
Yeah,
And
surprise on the
also,
show.
Flex Hard King, man. Way to get that Chow Chow Champ reference in. I forgot to say it today, but more power to you. Rocco,
working on
Huncho,
it.
tell them about your stuff, man. Hype up your brand.
I love Rocco. He does such a great job at this. Go ahead, my boy.
Yeah, you could find us everywhere at Fourth and Fantasy. You can find us in the Discord. You can find us on YouTube, where basically all of our content is. And you can find me at Ciriaco Solar. That's CIRIACOSOLERFF on Twitter. You can tell them your ad. I know you run basically the Twitter page, Huncho, but what we are is a fantasy football podcast for Dynasty Sickos by Dynasty Sickos. Everybody
Love it.
And also, we're your fantasy playbook to more championship wins. Catch us again this Sunday for our morning rush show as we answer your start and sit questions at 9 a.m. Eastern. We're bringing the vibes. We bring in the culture. Appreciate everyone that supports Addi. Appreciate you for having us on. This is always fun. Scotty, my G, I definitely got to get back on here with you so we could talk some more shit. This is definitely fun.
Man, there's always good shit to be talking at all hours of the day. You just never know when a good idea is going to hit. So
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
Damn right. And I love that morning show. Definitely check that out. As somebody who doesn't typically work too late, I absolutely love being able to hop on that morning one, get a cup of coffee, and see two of the best in the industry. But we are closing out here, and as Chev always says, Marcus Mariota forever. Chiefs running backs never. And we'll close it
never.
out there.